Hello and welcome to Series 2 of the Hoodcast. I am here with Kahn Johnson.
Hello!
Yes, I have decided to do this in series formats. A, you could say if you're feeling a bit more optimistic to build hype and excitement and for quality control. Or B, the more cynical sort of take on it is that I'm incredibly lazy and I really just don't have the time or effort or work ethic to do a weekly one. So I just do it in series.
I'm going with option B.
Option B, Kahn actually knows me quite well, so...
Please don't hold that against me.
That is fair. You know, that's guilt by association, which is unfair. So, Kahn, you do the comedy, don't you?
I does the comedy. Yes, I do.
You do it. How long have you been doing this comedy thing?
Yeah. I genuinely don't know.
You don't know?
I genuinely don't know.
That's how far fucking in you are to this.
Yeah.
You just have no idea.
No, I mean, when I started, I used to see posts from people, this is back in the old days, where there were these things called forums.
Forums?
Yes.
What the fuck is a forum?
It's an old thing we used to have in the old days of the internet, back when it was the Wild West, and people would actually start a website specifically for a single thing rather than just do it all on Facebook.
Yeah.
And you'd see people go, I've just done my 100th gig, I've just done my 150th gig, and it's really important to count all the gigs. And I just went, nah, not doing that.
I honestly have no idea how many fucking gigs I've done.
No. Oh, can we swear? Excellent.
Yeah, we can swear as much as we fucking want. This isn't getting monetised or anything.
Well, I was playing nice. I didn't know if it was a family-friendly show.
No, absolutely. You know me.
Yeah.
Nothing I do is family-friendly.
That's very true. That's very true. And if the police are listening, I've never met this man.
I just accosted him on the street.
Yes, it was
just started yelling.
Yeah, I got 20 quid out of it.
Yeah. It's really quite straight, this whole family-friendly thing, because I understand the skill of a family-friendly performer. Well, now that I've kind of calmed down, when I first started in comedy is when you fucking realise, well, you feel like you've got all the answers. You feel like you can individually fix comedy and that everything you do is genius.
Oh, did you start off there?
Yeah, I started off there.
Oh, dear.
And I was very, very delusional, and then...
Goes downhill fast from there.
There's nothing more humbling than a fucking dying on your ass, is there? Like the public humiliation of it.
Definitely not.
Unless you get off on it. Like, there's certain acts that I won't name on this podcast that are so bad that and have been going for so long, that I think the only thing they're getting into, I think it must be a sex kink, because they've not gotten better since I've known them.
I can only assume, I'll tread carefully here, that they don't like staying in of the night, that they have nothing better to do, so they just constantly leave the house and go to gigs. And we all just look around and look at them going, why are you here? And again, we're not going to name names, but I think we're both talking about the same person.
Yes, I'm adamant that we are. I'm almost adamant that we are.
Yeah, but yeah, I understand where you're coming from, and I know a lot of you young sorts like to think that you can fix comedy, and you come out and you go, I know all the rules, I know what I'm doing, this is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. I did my first ever gig simply because I'd done a wedding speech and I think 3 best man speeches at that point, all of which had been funny.
Funny.
And my brain went, if you can do that, you could do stand-up comedy. And the logical part of my brain went, yeah, okay, leave him to it.
Yeah.
So I went and did my first gig, and my friends who saw me at that gig and then saw me, who I got to know and saw me at several other gigs, went, you've never been better than your first gig. What happened to that guy? And what happened was that guy had an absolute storming gig and was brilliant. Yeah. And went, well, that's me done. Yeah. And then my next 6 months were rapidly learning that one good gig does not make you good.
Yeah, I know.
So I had to learn. That's really where I learned from scratch.
Yeah,
I just took everything apart and just rebuilt myself over 6 months.
You really reconstructed yourself.
So,
I think the thing is, your first incarnation as a performer, as it were.
Yeah.
That if you're done getting better at that incarnation of yourself, that evolutionary step, you'll find your ceiling in this game pretty fucking quickly. Like,
I think you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's one of those things where, when I started out in journalism, because I hate to break it to people, I'm a journalist as well.
Nice.
Don't hate me. I've never worked for the tabloids. My first editor said to me, "You never stop learning."
Yeah.
And apparently he was wrong because they've all stopped learning and now they're just thick as shit. But back when journalism counted for something, that was very true. And I've taken that into comedy.
Yeah.
Because you can do a bit of material. You're making a hand signal at me. Do I need to speed up?
No. I'm just agreeing with you.
Oh, right. Sorry. I thought I was being given direction.
Sorry, I have many of these tics. There was one instance where I was at the Wildman Martin's gig, and Meryl O'Rourke was headlining.
I like Meryl a lot.
Yeah, she's good. Flora wasn't a big fan for other reasons, and I wasn't for other reasons, but she's alright. She seemed okay. But I did my whole handshake things that I does, and she went, "Oh, Aaron's excited," and I just went, "No, I'm just autistic. This is one of my fucking tics." And she just stopped. I could see the political correctness just hit her like a fucking train.
See, that's the really harsh thing you do, isn't it? Because you are. I mean, I don't know many autistic people, or I don't think I do. Turns out I probably know more than I think I do.
Yeah, a lot of us stay in the closet.
Yeah, I wish you would. Because it's really awkward around you. No, I'm kidding. It's just awkward around you.
It's literally just me and Dom's just like...
This is it.
Michael McIntyre reproduced with a Cabbage Patch Kid.
Oh, that's harsh on Cabbage Patch Kids.
We love Dom, though.
We do. Is he here?
He's in Japan. We can talk shit about
him. I was looking out the window going, well, hi, there he is. He's weeding the grass again. He does it with tweezers. It's really brilliant. Where were we? Yeah, so you can't. It's one of those disabilities, same as mine. Yeah. Well, we'll come to mine in a bit. It's special. That no one knows.
You're the most disabled person. Disability is a contest, and you're winning. You're a massive.
There are buggers who can beat me, and that's really annoying. But it's one of the invisible ones.
Yeah.
So when you meet someone, you don't immediately know.
Yeah.
And because the Tories haven't yet got around to badging us all.
Yeah. Or like tattooing the back of the lips of our neck.
Or I don't know, a coloured ribbon, because history tells us that apparently works.
They actually suggested that in all seriousness. Someone I don't know who it was, but there was a Tory MP. I need to look into this for the notes, but...
Their socks to open, by the way.
Yeah. There was this Tory MP that fucking suggested that non-ironically.
That does not surprise me. It would have to be a Tory.
Yeah, I think my problem is, compared to the One Nation as Heaths and everyone of old... This lot aren't particularly well educated. I mean, fucking Mark Francois. That fucking...
I've only recently discovered who he is, and he's an absolute goldmine of stupidity.
Oh, he's brilliant.
He's absolutely brilliant. I mean, what is it with the fucking Boris Johnson collective? They're all thick as shit.
You know, there's just I think the thing is, one of the greatest lies in our society is that you succeed on merit. And knowing that a lot of Tory MPs, that is just demonstrably bollocks.
It is, but also it's demonstrably bollocks across the world, because I know, like, one of my favourite bands of all time is a band called The Vow. You won't have heard of them, because they never broke big. The guy who fronted them, who wrote all the songs, is one of the best songwriters this country has ever produced, in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
But they never got the breaks.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Coldplay sell out Wembley. Merit skill and talent has nothing to do with it. It's just dumb luck 99% of the time, because you can be the most talented comedian, the most talented writer, the most talented performer. If you're not in the right place at the right time for the right people to find you, no one ever knows. And unfortunately, politics has gone down that route. You can be the most kind, compassionate, caring person with all the right ideas, but if people don't get on board, if people don't vote for you, if you don't get the right backing, no one goes for you. No. If you're going up against, especially in politics, if you're going up against the mainstream, where all the good ideas tend to go up against, you're doomed.
Yeah.
Whereas if you happen to have gone to a public school, you've got rich parents, and you haven't got 2 brain cells to your name, you're going to be a Tory MP by lunchtime.
Yeah.
And
it goes to the old cliche Harry Enfield's character, Tim Nice but dim.
Yeah.
You know, like there's some perfectly. I kind of preferred it when the One Nation Tories, a lot of them were just as pig shit thick as the Thatcherites are.
Yeah.
But at least they had somewhat of a social conscience.
Ah, no, see, I dispute that. I dispute that because they didn't. And what they had was a nose in the wind and a sense of marketing.
Yeah.
So they rebranded themselves because they realised that they had to at least appear like they gave a shit for people to take them seriously.
Yeah, the thing is, I think you're talking about people like Cameron and stuff, who I wouldn't say were One Nation Tories. They were just fucking Blairites. I mean, I'm talking more about your Ken Clarks and your...
Yeah, but Cameron was the one who, while Blair took Labour into the centre and actually took them to the right, Cameron then pitched the Tories into the centre and on the surface appeared to be taking them to the left, only to turn out to be a bigger wanker than we all thought he was, and we all thought he was a big one to begin with. But I know what you're saying, the one, he kind of branded himself as the One Nation thing. But I think that's where, we're going off on a massive tangent here, boys and girls. By the way, there's going to be a callback to the chocolate bar he ate.
It was good.
Yeah, we'll come to that later, I've seen the list. I have now completely derailed my own thought process. What were we talking about? Yes, so this whole new idea of having a central party is, in theory, exactly what we need.
Yeah.
But every time we've tried to have one, it's gone tits up.
Yeah. I don't know. I
think it's going to go tits up again.
I think you kind of fall into the whole argument for moderation fallacy. Like, you don't have to always find the middle ground between two positions. Some sides are just fucking wrong. And like, Corbyn's considered very far left, but he's actually quite a mild, reasonable social democrat when you look at his actual policies.
Yeah, well, see, the problem is anybody who goes up against the consensus, the consensus in this country and in America is that money is the driver for everything.
Yeah.
And it's the whole neoliberal politics agenda.
Yeah.
So if you go up against that, you are automatically a socialist.
Yeah.
Now, there is actually nothing wrong with socialism, in theory. In practice, it can be a bit of a struggle and doesn't always work. But in theory,
Venezuela's been a bit of a...
that's a tricky one. Everyone kind of held that up as the flagship of, look, socialism works. Then they looked at it closely and went, oh shit, it didn't.
Oh shit, this is profoundly mismanaged.
Yes.
And you're basing long-term planning on oil of fundamentally finite and damaging results.
Yeah, but apart from that, it was a good idea.
And apart from all the, people who are starving... Then again, you've got to remember...
but they were starving equally.
Yes. But then again, you've got to remember that the US are blocking aid and all of that shit. And
well, of course they are, because, it's socialism. And that's bad, and that's wrong. And that's much better that people can't actually afford healthcare.
Yeah.
Because that's how the market works.
Yeah, I love this line in 30 Rock where I want to die in the waiting room due to a preventable disease like an American.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right.
I enjoy that.
I'm going off at a tangent again. You've got 2 microwaves.
We have 2 microwaves. That's our good one for us, and that's the one for guests. I have instituted an apartheid system of microwaves in my house.
That's just wrong.
Yeah, so much for the left, right?
Yeah.
The tolerant left.
Microwaves for all.
So yeah, you've been doing this for quite some time, and neither of us seem to have kept track how long or how
That's
many
where
gigs.
we were, weren't we? Yes.
Maybe because it doesn't matter, and there's no arbitrary time limit. Like, somebody can do like 1,000 gigs and still be fucking shit.
Yep.
And someone could do 100 and be getting all right if they've actually.
About the same person again.
Maybe it's as if you actually take it seriously and want to get better. And I've noticed now that I've stopped fucking about, I've started to become a better fucking comic.
Well, there's an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking to a newer comedian in Norwich recently, and every time I've seen her, she's done a new set.
Yeah.
And I just said to her, I said, are you deliberately writing a new set every time you go on stage? And she went, yeah, I thought that's what I had to do. I went,
that is not what you have to do.
No. And so she said, I know, the penny has dropped, or someone else has said something to me, and what I've realised now is I need to work on what I've got.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, you find a bit that works and you fucking cling to it.
Yeah, this is it.
Because people take the piss out of I have the same opening line. But that's a fucking good opening line.
Hey.
And once my show's over and I've toured it to death, I will bin it. But I worked hard coming up with that shit on the fly.
Exactly. Now, Dara O'Brien, not a personal friend, but I have heard of him.
Yeah. You know he exists.
He's definitely funny. He said a while ago he was promoting a new tour, and someone said to him, whoever was interviewing said, "You're only playing theatres," I think was how it was phrased.
Yeah.
And he went, "No, I'm choosing to play theatres." He said, because I spend a year writing my show.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to just go out, play 9 dates and arenas, and that's it, it's done.
Yeah.
I want to play this for as long as I can.
Yeah.
So I play the smallest venue I can get away with, reasonably.
Yeah.
He's a bit well known and a bit popular.
Yes. People know who he is.
They have heard of him, and you won't find him headlining the Walnut Tree Shades, sadly. Well, unless you're listening, Dara.
Yeah.
Give me a call. Spot's yours.
We'll chuck you on for an open, mate, at the Hood Nanny and the Walnut if you want open 10.
Well, send a video.
We could offer you progression.
Yeah. So I want to see a video and I want some quotes first, but apart from that, so he wants to tour it as much as possible, and I think I tend to agree with that.
Yeah.
And I've got. Oh, I don't know. Well, let me just look at the list. Oh, we're on. Yeah, we're going to come to that. I think we can talk about it now. I've got a bit of material about having multiple sclerosis. Told you I was disabled.
Yeah.
Which I've been doing, I think, for about 5 years now.
Yeah.
And I keep adding bits, and it keeps growing, and it's evolving, and I'm not dropping it because there's two very important things about that.
Yeah.
One, it's a very personal piece of comedy.
Yeah.
And it's laughing at a dark subject in a positive way, and it gets other people on board.
Yeah.
The other is, it's one of the best ways to close a show I've ever come across. And I'm not just bigging myself up. I've had other people come up to me after they've never seen me before at the end of a show and go, that final line just kills.
Yeah, that
sclerosis
bit is solid, mate.
When I finally got that final line, and it took about a year to get to that bit.
Yeah.
Everything else was kind of in place, but I couldn't close it off until that line arrived.
Yeah.
Having got that, I'm not letting go of that anytime soon.
No.
I mean, where's that? Oh, that's way down the list. We'll come to that.
Yeah.
We'll do a callback to this bit as well.
Yeah.
By the way. My worry is at some point I may have to get rid of it, but I've got a new plan.
Yeah.
And that bit doesn't go in the show.
Yeah.
Keep it out of the show.
Yeah.
Then I can keep doing it everywhere else.
That's wise. Because the thing is, my opening line, which probably lasts 30 seconds to a minute, depending on what I bit in, and I've added bits, took out
Or if his
bits.
girlfriend's listening, 5 minutes, love.
Yeah. But the opener stuff is like, people have been you always bang on about this subject. But like the thing is, that's a fundamental part of who I am and how I relate to the world. So, and also it's fuck off funny, that intro, I think. So it ticks all the criteria, and it's just like, people go, you could bang on about autism or disability, but like, you have so many like male comedians just talking about their knob and wanking. You have like, I just think it feels like every other group is allowed to now discuss this stuff openly, but disability hasn't caught up in that same way.
No, it hasn't, because there's still a certain, I'll use the term liberal very loosely, but there's still a certain section of the more liberal community who don't feel comfortable talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
So they don't want you talking about it because they don't want to be made to feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And if you did, I adhere to the rule, there's nothing you can't joke about in comedy.
Yeah, I adhere to it too.
But I adhere to it with the caveat that you have to be funny.
That's the whole fucking point, isn't it?
This is it. I mean, I know comedians who end a punchline with rape or cunt or fuck, and they think they've done their job, and they haven't. It's the laziest way to end a thing.
No.
And it depends. I mean, ultimately, it depends why you got into comedy. If you got into comedy because you thought this was the new rock and roll on the way to make yourself a millionaire, well done, you're an idiot.
Good luck, mate.
But if you got into it because A, you enjoy being on stage, you enjoy making people laugh, but you felt you had something to say, then fucking say it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's not to say everyone should have a political point. I would suggest Martin Westgate, I'm going to come on to him.
Yeah.
Very close personal friend. Love him to bits. Too young for his own money. But he doesn't tend to do political stuff. It doesn't really fit with his shtick and his style and his personality on stage.
The thing is, it could create, if you're not the right actor to do it, it
could
create cognitive dissonance.
This is it. But you do it quite well. You need to possibly occasionally come down a notch from the ranting.
Yeah.
But you get caught up in yourself.
Yeah, I think I'm a very emotive, reactive performer and person.
You are.
And
totally.
there's very little differentiation. I'm a lot more chill when I'm off stage, but there's lot more there's not much differentiation between who I am on and off stage. There's no character or act as much of it. It's more of a performance than an act or a character.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, I'm me on stage, but I'm me turned up to about 11.
Yeah, and that's the rule I adhere to. A lot of other comics I respect. You just really take bits that are natural to you and really push it as far as you can.
Just amplify the funny bits.
Yeah.
And that's why when I come off stage, I tend not to talk to people for a while.
Yeah.
Because I've expended so much energy being that person on stage.
Yeah.
And it has happened that I've come off stage and immediately engaged with someone and I haven't necessarily said the right thing.
Yeah.
I've been possibly a bit of a twat.
Yeah.
Because I'm still that guy on stage.
Yeah.
And that I'm waving my hand now.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to. I'm the guest.
Yeah.
The person on stage isn't necessarily the person you want to be in everyday life, because that person doesn't necessarily function well in everyday life.
Yeah.
But there's a part of me that doesn't function well in everyday life, and he goes on stage.
Yes, likewise. And the thing is, I've gotten a lot louder and more intense. I try not to get on my fucking soapbox as much. And if
Really? When?
the last few.
Oh.
Literally, it's only just happened, mate. But the thing is, I have to talk about things I find interesting. Otherwise, it's boring for me. And if it's boring for me, it's boring for fucking everyone else.
Totally.
You have no right to go up there and not be in the mood and fucking just stink out the place.
No.
You know? Like, it's just not good for anyone.
No. I mean, a lot of my influences aren't actually comedic.
Yeah.
They come from the musical world, because I am basically a frustrated musician. I say frustrated, I'm lazy. Learning to sing and learning to play guitar takes time and effort.
Yeah.
Writing jokes and talking on stage apparently comes quite easy to me, so that just seems like an easier route to passing around like a twat on stage.
Yeah.
But all my influences are usually, most of the main ones I like, are slightly damaged rock stars.
Yeah.
And very few of them pulled shows.
Yeah.
One of my heroes is Lemmy.
Yeah.
At a time when he could barely breathe because he'd completely fucked up his entire body. He was, towards the end, he was having to come out of shows halfway through, and he hated it.
Yeah.
He hated having to do that.
Yeah.
Because his thing was, if you're lucky enough to be in a position that you go on stage and entertain others,
You fucking
get on stage and entertain others.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the same now. Like, I mean,
this isn't a 9-to-5 job.
No.
Now, back in the days when I had a regular 9-to-5 job, and I'm still quietly quite proud of this, I once pulled a 3-day sickie. Just so I could watch Alien Quadrology.
That's fantastic.
I didn't particularly need a reason to do it. I was going to need more than a weekend, and I was really hating my job, and looking back on it, I was depressed and undiagnosed.
Yeah.
But I just decided, I don't feel well. I'm not well. I couldn't face the drive across the M62, so I just went phoned in sick for 3 days and just sat on the sofa and watched Alien Quadrology.
That's
all of it.
Yeah, I'd done the same, where I was just miserable in this position, and I was fucking stacking shelves at Tesco at nights, and it was just absolutely soul destroying.
To be fair, it's not the most challenging of jobs.
But yeah, it's not challenging. It's just the fact that it was so boring and repetitive, and it fucked up my sleeping patterns, and it was making me unhealthy.
Working nights fucked up your sleep patterns.
Yeah.
If only you'd spotted that earlier.
Weird. Yeah, I should have maybe foresaw that, but like I had to work like 2 days of notice, and I was just so miserable. I just didn't go in.
That sounds very reasonable.
Yeah, I just didn't.
Yeah. The one I like best, and I suspect we're going to be coming to... I've already mentioned it, we're finally good. When I got made redundant, we were all in it together, me and my colleagues, because we were all being shafted by the company.
Yeah.
And we were all kind of looking for new work, obviously, because we're not stupid. But I got a job quicker than most people. And they kept not giving us a date for when we were actually going to be binned off.
Yeah.
They were holding out and holding out and holding out. When I got this new job, they went, we need a start date. I said, well, they haven't given me a leave date yet. They said, well, can you try and push for one? So I went and asked the question. They went, well, you could be looking at the end of the month. It could be the end of next month. Screw that.
Yeah.
So I went home, went in the next day and went, I'm sorry, but all this stress is causing me insomnia. It's hammering my depression. It's hitting my MS. I can't cope with this anymore. I have to leave now. Can you pay me off, please? And they went, oh, God, yeah, of course, we completely understand. Yeah. Signed all the paperwork the next day. And then they went, well, all the best in the job hunt. Oh, funny story, I already got one. Bye!
That's fantastic.
The look on a couple of my colleagues' face was not so funny as they just went, you bastard.
Not being funny, like, what they've got to understand is you've looked out for yourself, but you haven't shafted them. You've shafted the company. Yeah. You returned the shafting.
Yeah, they weren't upset with me, what I'd done. They were simply upset that they hadn't got the opportunity yet.
Yeah.
Because we all wanted to shaft the company.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, like, a absolute D-Day bombing of shaftings.
Yeah.
A deep dicking is due to that company.
Yeah, completely. Because, I mean, what happened was they moved all the production stuff we were doing in Bradford to Newport.
Yeah.
And they offered us the chance to move to Newport. Have you ever been to Newport?
I've heard the only time I've heard of it is because a singer said it has a massive problem. A singer from there says it has a massive problem with knife crime. So
that's one of the brighter points of Newport.
Yes, you've heard of Skindred, haven't you?
Oh yes,
yes.
Yeah, I love Skindred.
Yeah, they're very good, very good. Benji Webb, you can come on the Hoodcast if you want to.
We're currently doing the Newport helicopter in here. Woohoo!
That's the only good thing to come out of Newport.
Yes,
Skindred
the Newport helicopter. God, they're a great live. Are they playing Download this year?
Yes, I think so.
Excellent.
It's either that or Reading and Leeds.
I think.
Should we quickly cover Download?
Oh, we could.
Are you going?
Oh, of course I'm going.
Oh, fuck. Are you camping or what are you doing?
Camp. Seriously. In a tent, in a field. No! Who the hell does that?
The thing is, I
mean, you do because you're young and you're stupid.
Yeah, but I might get a hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I might.
See, my idea of camping is we stay in a hotel right by Derby train station.
Yeah.
And we get the coach in every day.
Yeah.
And then we get the coach home again. And then it's just a short walk to the hotel and we can collapse and we're fine, we're happy. None of this staggering around a field at 3 a.m. trying to work out where our tent is, which apparently is part of the fun.
It's not. No. It's not fun.
No.
I might use a bit more money on Ready to Rock, upgrade my ticket. So literally I have to just turn up with my bags, my shower and the fucking... I have to turn up with my clothes and food. The tent's already prepared.
Yeah.
Fucking shower. Hello.
This is live, people.
I don't care. Flora Wheeler, everyone.
Say hello, Flora.
Hello.
There we go.
That's Flora Wheeler with a cameo on the Hoodcast.
The joke is you should have said hello, Flora. Say hello, Flora.
I'm not your puppet, Kahn. I'm not your puppet.
Flora Wheeler. She's essentially done the podcast equivalent of Flavor Flav and just, halfway through a perfectly good track, just yelled, "Yeah, boy!" And then that's
Well, it's improved it no end.
Yes. So...
Where were we? Yes, Download.
Yeah. Camping shit, isn't it?
Yeah, because I'm old school. I remember Monsters of Rock.
You do?
I do. My first one was... I know I'm old. My first one was in 1990 with the hip cool down lineup of, in order, Thunder, the Choir Boys, Poison, Aerosmith, and Whitesnake. And you're making that face that means you've just found a bowl of sick in your cereal.
I like Whitesnake. Whitesnake was fun.
That was my that year at that time in my life. That was my dream lineup. I could live without the Choir Boys at the time, but
Thunder are good.
Thunder are amazing, and they're one of my all-time favourite bands. And Aerosmith are one of my all-time favourite bands. And I do Poison count as a guilty pleasure because I've got all their stuff and I like them.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, the thing with the hair metal is that the misogyny and the consumerism.
It's nothing to be proud of.
I'm glad that all got out in the open, so we decided that was bad.
Yes.
Like, Poison weren't quite Motley Crue level of fucking just awful musically and as
To be fair, Bret Michaels can sing.
Bret Michaels can actually sing.
Yes.
Vince
Neil not so much.
Yeah, or Drive.
Oh, we went there, didn't we?
I'm glad most of my viewers will not get that reference, so I'll be fine.
Do you know, by the way, that Motley Crue once released a box set called Music to Crash Cars to? They genuinely did that, and no one at the time tapped him on the shoulder and went, "Boys, remember Razzle?"
Yeah, remember, don't do that.
Yeah, maybe that's a bit too on the nose. No,
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. You carry on pretending you don't care that your singer killed someone.
Being cool about being an arsehole.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, we got Def Leppard playing Hysteria the first. That's good, isn't it?
Brilliant, and I'm so proud of myself for this.
Yeah.
Because Hysteria, obviously, I'm of an age, so that's nostalgia to me, and I love that album. I was listening to that
Hysteria's a really good album.
It's
I'm very, very picky about the 80s.
It's actually a stunningly well-produced pop rock album, and it stands in a genre of its own. It's not even like the stuff they did before or after. It's just there.
Yeah. And
it's sold as many copies as Michael Jackson has, and they haven't fiddled with kids.
Yes,
so
that's good.
That's a winning point.
Yeah. Again, another bad incident with a car, but that wasn't their fault.
That wasn't his fault.
Yeah, that wasn't his fault.
And I still don't understand why the guitarist dying meant he could no longer be in the band. It's Def Leppard, nothing stops them. Anyway,
yes.
They did the tour of the UK late last year, I think it was. And because me and mates, we all grew up listening to Hysteria.
Yeah.
They were doing the Hysteria in full, and we just went, we have to go.
Yeah.
So we got me and my mates got tickets to one show, and then another friend of mine up north went, they're doing Sheffield, we have to go. It's like, you don't even like Def Leppard. It's Hysteria, we have to go. So I've seen it twice now. And then, after I sorted the tickets out for that, they announced they're doing Hysteria in full at Download on the Friday night. And it's just like, I've just spent like £500 going to Nottingham and Sheffield with friends to see you do this. And I could have just waited. Oh, what the hell? I got to see Cheap Trick at the same time.
Yeah, that's what happened with me with like Slipknot. I was like, they did the tour and then they were doing Downloads. Like, fuck it, I'll just go to both then.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
It's happened to me with Rammstein, Black Sabbath.
Yeah, all that.
Well, I was ill, so I never got to see Black Sabbath, which was unfortunate.
Was that 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
The year they did Download, and they also did Hyde Park. So
yeah, you missed nothing.
Yeah,
they were terrible that year.
Fair enough.
I saw them indoors on what should have been the farewell tour.
Yeah,
where they were promoting 13, and that was brilliant because it was indoors, so you got the full light show. Because we're the best one in the world. Much as I love Ozzy, he's a hard person to love if you like animals.
Yeah.
He is not a charismatic frontman. Not anymore. He may have been once, but he can't move anymore, bless him. Watching him go off stage was heartbreaking because it was like watching your granddad go to get milk out of the fridge.
That's horrible.
Just like just shuffling along in his slippers, and you just think, you're not the Aussie. Just stay still. So if you stay still, I remember the Aussie from 20 years ago.
Yeah. So I saw them at Download
in the sunshine.
Yeah. It doesn't work.
The lights don't work so much, and what you remember is a lot of those songs are actually quite dull.
Yeah, the thing with Black Sabbath is that you've got to be indoors. It helps when you're stoned, and
I'll take your word for that.
Yes, it's more of my
more your end than mine.
Yeah, it is 420 today, so to my viewers in the youth community, 420 blaze it.
He's made some hand gestures. Apparently, it's a youth thing. Yeah. I got no idea.
I don't know. I just thought I'd celebrate one of the only public holidays that mean a damn to me. Which is also the anniversary of the Columbine shooting and Hitler's birthday. But
that's an odd coincidence.
Yeah.
Oh, is this why a lot of people are getting stoned in Hyde Park today?
Yes. That is the only reason. White Snake will be fun as well. I can't wait for White Snake.
I love White Snake.
My dad loves White Snake.
Yeah. Although there is a problem now. There are two problems now with White Snake. One. This is a comedy podcast. Oh, never mind. His lyrics haven't aged well.
Yeah.
Shall we say?
Yeah, I think that's
down,
fair.
I think I love you. Lie down, I think I care. Was a little crass in 1978.
And now
it's not. It's now just no. Just no.
You know, like a fine...
Lie down, I'm hoping you'll consent to this.
Yes.
Lie down, I like you very much and respect you as a human being. Doesn't scan well.
Yeah.
But it's more accurate.
Yeah, that's fair. I kind of feel that, people say aged like a fine wine, but sometimes things age like a yogurt.
Yes.
That you've kept in the fridge and should have binned months ago.
Exactly right. And the other problem with him now, unfortunately, because he spent years singing at the absolute top of his range.
Yeah.
He has shredded his voice.
Just absolutely
gone. We saw they toured with Def Leppard a few years ago, and his voice was so bad. Me and my mates, who are fans, just stayed outside having a beer and catching up.
Yeah.
Because going in there and listening to what happened to Still of the Night was not going to be a pleasant experience.
Yeah.
Now I saw, as I mentioned, White Snake in 1990 on the Slip of the Tongue tour, and his voice was just about good.
Yeah.
Slightly ragged because he'd been touring, but just about good.
Yeah, he kept it stable enough.
But now the audience are going to be doing the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
He's very adept at starting a line and just letting the audience take it. Now, that's fine. It's a cracking sing-along show.
Yeah.
But don't expect... And then if you're lucky and you remember the stuff really well... God, my hands move a lot when I talk, don't they?
Yeah.
If you remember the stuff really well, that's what you're hearing.
Yeah.
You'll hear the recorded stuff.
Yeah, in your head.
Yeah. But I mean, they've got a new album coming out.
Why?
I don't know, because he said there was no point, and then he went and did another one. But I posted the new singles video on my Facebook page with the simple thing of, oh dear. Because it's 2019. We've got, hopefully, the Me Too movement has made some inroads and has moved things forward a bit, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then White Snake come along and just do White Snake.
And then it's Motley Crue, The Dirt came out. And it's
don't bring that up. Don't bring that up.
Let's just go. Let's just go and just in for it. All right. I will quickly kill off this conversation topic, saying The Dirt is just totally justifying misogynistic trash. And,
It is
I hate it, and I hate that band as personally and as musicians. Like, both levels, I fucking hate them.
Here and now, I have a slight problem.
Yeah.
Genuinely. The book, The Dirt, is really good. Very honest and very raw.
It is a very good book.
Yeah,
Like, the movie feels like propaganda to me.
The Heroin Diaries by Nikki Sixx is a fantastic book, and the album by 6am that comes alongside it is fantastic.
Really?
Utterly spellbinding. It's superb.
Yeah.
Because it turns out, away from a guy who can't sing and with actual proper musicians, Nikki Sixx is quite a good songwriter.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Nikki Sixx was the only one out of... Well, Mick Mars could do a riff.
Mick Mars is a very good guitarist. Unfortunately, he's in crippling pain most of the time.
Yeah,
to be fair, Tommy Lee is not the worst drummer in the world.
He's just a very nasty person.
Yeah, therein lies the problem. And
Vince Neil can't sing and is just...
a very nasty person and can't drive.
Yeah.
But that's where I had the problem with The Dirt. And I had to watch The Dirt because I do a blog and a podcast called Unsalted Popcorn, which is all about films. Well, don't get the plug in. I got the plug in.
That's fine.
Subtle.
And
so I had to watch it for that. And all the time I'm watching it, all I'm thinking is, at what point did you as a band sit down, watch this being made and go, we're more than happy for that to be how we're remembered?
Yeah.
Because no one comes out of
that includes a scene of, like, Tommy Lee punching a woman in the face.
Yeah.
And you're meant to feel bad. It's framed as if you're meant to feel bad that he just... had to punch his fiancée in the face.
Poor old Tommy was reduced to having to do that. No. There's a scene at the start, which I don't know if you said it or a review I read online used the phrase that it's a scene that would be more at home in Pornhub.
Yeah.
And that, I swear blind, is not even in the book.
Yeah.
Now, why they decided that needed to be shown, I have no idea. It had no dramatic relevance. It didn't make anyone look good.
Yeah.
And all it did was go, look at this, women are just there for sex.
Yeah, the thing is, it's not framed very well, and I understand that films can't scan the same way as a book or a song or any other art, but and I think what's happened is they've just kind of they've tried to make them look sympathetic.
Yep.
And they've also they've got the name value of The Dirt, which was just worth a load.
Yeah.
And they want to capitalise it by making... People want salaciousness with Motley Crue and stuff. Like,
I think part of the problem is that's what they think they are.
Yeah.
And there is actually, somewhere buried within that band, some good songs. If you take away all the stuff about girls, 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 and whatever, Kickstart My Heart, the song about him...
Yeah, that's a good song.
A great riff, and it's a very good song.
Yeah.
If you listen to the Saints of Los Angeles, their last album, which actually tells the story of the band...
Yeah.
And it's kind of weirdly a concept album in that sense.
Yeah.
That's an amazing album because they bring everything down an octave so Vince has half a chance of hitting the right notes.
Yeah.
It's not all about shagging and drugs and all the rest of it. It's telling a story.
Yeah.
And it's actually the best thing they ever did.
Yeah.
But the rest of the stuff, it's now a very hard listen. I don't dispute that.
That is fair. That is more than fair.
People moan about Def Leppard. God, you can still listen to Hysteria.
Yeah,
it's still brilliant.
Exactly. It's just timeless. Whereas some albums and pieces of art are very much creatures of their time.
Yes.
It's too sort of embedded in the culture, as it were. But I saw.
Wanna be in my gang, never mind. Gary, not now.
When I was at Download watching Enter Shikari, I accidentally saw Motley Crue. Well, I was seeing Lamb of God, and I accidentally saw a bit of Motley Crue. And no offence to any comedian I've ever seen or admired, that was the funniest thing I have ever seen in my life. Vince Neil sounded like... I imagine if there was, audio of the car crash, it sounded like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Weirdly, again, I feel like all I'm talking about now is Def Leppard. I have seen other bands, honestly. I've seen Linkin Park loads, and I've seen Chris Cornell solos, so I'm cool.
Yeah.
But again, Def Leppard touring, they took Motley Crue with them.
Yeah.
And Def Leppard went on first, and Motley Crue were closing.
Yeah.
And it was the weirdest juxtaposition ever. They went out with Steel Panther for a start.
Yeah.
Now, how you can have Steel Panther and Motley Crue on the same bill, I have no idea, because it's basically the same show.
Yeah. Steel Panther can actually play, though.
Except Steel Panther have got a sense of humour, and they understand it's all parody.
Yeah.
But you go from this absolutely slick, almost sterile production of Def Leppard.
Yeah.
Note perfect, not a foot out of place, everything, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Every cue hit, all the rest of it. And suddenly then this snarling mess of a machine comes out to these Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Now, musically, I love that.
Yeah.
But then Vince started trying to sing.
Yeah.
And the backing singers are doing all the heavy lifting. He can barely hit the end of a sentence.
Fucking hell.
He's fading off lines halfway through, and this is like 3 songs in.
Jesus.
He's not built. And I've now seen a video of him recently attempting to do, I think it was Dr. Feelgood. Now, I'm not into fat shaming. People can be as big as they like, but I know they say the camera adds 10 pounds. I can only assume there are about 20 phones on him at the time. And it's already in a higher register than he can now do. They dropped it, and he still couldn't hit that.
Fuck.
And he barely knew the tune, or the lyrics, or even the melody.
And that's Dr. Feelgood.
Yeah.
Not being funny, that's not one of their fucking B-sides
No,
from like the first album.
No, title track in one of the biggest selling albums they ever had.
Yeah.
But hey, never mind.
Never mind.
Moving
Yeah.
on. What else we got?
I don't know. It's just weird. But yeah, so that day is very much your day, but it'll be Def Leppard. There's a few good bands.
Tesla / Whitesnake, Def Leppard. My girlfriend has
Yeah.
already said she'll win the beer tent if I want her.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this does mean I've got to put up with Slipknot on tour.
Oh, I love Slipknot.
I
Slipknot are my
know.
favourite band.
I don't get them. I love Stone Sour.
Yeah.
Although Corey Taylor is now possibly getting to the point where he's a little hard to like.
How come? Like,
I don't know. He doesn't come across well.
yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah.
But I will say this about him: there are some demo tapes of him playing with Velvet Revolver.
Yeah.
Those I want to hear.
I want to hear those.
Him singing over Slash. That I want to hear.
Yeah.
I just don't get Slipknot.
Yeah. I think it's Andrew O'Neill in the book called The History of Heavy Metal, which is one of my
Great book.
fucking
Great book.
brilliant book. I saw the show live, and you know Andrew, don't you?
I have met him a couple of times.
Yeah.
He's a lovely bloke. I keep bumping into him at Download.
Yeah, I've heard he's alright.
He's a lovely chap.
Also, Stanhope's my favourite comedian. So anyone who's good with Stanhope's,
It's fair enough. Can't argue with that. Yep.
yeah. And I like him. He's one of what's weird is that I've only like a proper pro standard, a bill that I'm not on.
Yeah.
I've been very lucky in terms of comedy. I've been spoiled that I've only actively went out of my way to see free comedians, like free proper like name comedians.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
Andrew O'Neill,
Yep.
Frankie Boyle, and Doug Stanhope.
Good
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah, I'm very fucking fussy about my comedy. You know,
are, aren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very picky, and that's
That's why he always struggles to put his fucking hootenanny bills together.
yes, I do. We really do. But we've got April. Well, I fucking should hope we've got April sorted. That's in 5 days.
It is.
Last pub standing. Come along.
A lovely room and a lovely night.
It's got the weirdness. It's got the weirdness factor.
It's beautiful.
We shall call back to this, and then we've got May sorted, and we're just about sorting out June.
Excellent.
Yeah, because we have to get the theme. That's the whole.
That's your problem.
Running an alt night's a total cunt, especially when you go for a different theme every month.
Yeah, I'm too lazy.
Yeah, that's why we have kind of the big staples. You know, like how WWE has WrestleMania, Royal Rumble,
Yeah.
SummerSlam. We have kind of Autistic Mayhem every year. So
Yeah.
there's 1 month where we know what we're doing. And we also have in December the Crippling Depression sessions.
Yeah.
Kahn was on the first ever Crippling Depression sessions, and it was, I think politely to say, a mess.
The MC / opening act struggled, to be fair, and he
Yeah.
went off on some weird rambling rant, sat down for a bit, and then just went, "Kahn, can you take over?"
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, I've had warm introductions. Who was that again, Aaron? Can you remember?
I believe that was a very drunk... I believe that was a very drunk, inexperienced Aaron Hood.
It was. I mean, literally taking the depression sessions to their natural conclusion from the off.
So it was art.
Yeah, that's what we decided to call it.
That's what. But the thing is, like, I think.
Well, it proves I can follow anything. So,
I've spoke to Martin about this, and once you finally went and gave me some advice, which I took, and it improved from there.
Did we give you advice?
You did,
Wow.
like, move from the courtyard, from the main entrance bit, where because another band was playing and we couldn't hear ourselves, to the actual room we'd booked, which
Well,
worked.
That's a novel idea.
Yeah,
Well,
but the thing is, I thought because it was bigger space and more comfortable, but then the band started playing and we couldn't fucking hear the comics perform.
No,
it
you
was
see,
mental.
You can't go up against amplified instruments, sadly.
No, sadly not.
You
But-
need Andrew O'Neill's Heavy Metal Hour for that.
Yeah, but the thing is, no one seemed to hate me because of it. I think everyone, and I spoke to Martin and a couple of other people on that bill about it, that everyone seemed to think like Aaron just doesn't know what he's doing yet. But
it was a combination of. No, actually, I didn't even think that. I just thought that's Aaron.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And
yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I wasn't. I had no business emceeing at this time, but I really kind of cut my teeth. And I do miss the rehearsal rooms because they were kind of like grungy, properly basic, and because I packed them with my mates, it was always a fun, rowdy atmosphere. Those gigs.
It was
something that it lost when it moved to the Con Club, to be honest, and the other venues.
Except you say that,
yeah,
but at least the Con Club had a stage.
Yeah,
but the rehearsal rooms, like you said, but that's where, and I think we did tell you this at the time.
Yeah,
you were making the not uncommon error of performing in front of your mates.
Yeah.
And they all think you're funny.
Yeah.
Now that's fine, but they're gonna think you're funny because they've known you for years.
And they're my mates.
They're your mates. They're going to be kind to you.
They'll laugh.
You'll learn nothing performing in front of your friends.
Exactly. And I the thing is, once, because I've been kind of doing this since I was 15 on and off. By which I mean I only started taking it seriously at 21. But
he's now 35.
Yes, 23. 23.
Really? You look older.
Yes, I do. That's what mental illness will do to you. And
I've got better hair than you.
You do. Yeah. You probably take care of it.
I have to. It's long and luscious.
That's one word for it. You piss-soaked tramp.
That's another word for it. Excuse me, that's not piss. That's white wine.
Oh yeah,
I'm a classy tramp. Me,
you're an upper class
shabbily.
You're some of that old money tramp, not an old tramp or new tramp.
No. I'm definitely a shabbily and rustle around in the Harrods bins kind of tramp. Me.
Yeah, form is temporary, class is permanent.
Exactly right.
Oh, brilliant! But the thing is, when I finally started doing audiences that weren't 90 to 95% of my friends,
yes,
and only maybe bringing one or two friends, I got better quite quickly. Yes, that sounded a lot more pointed.
But that's very true, and that is how you learn. Because you can have a good night with new material or early on, and you think you're brilliant. Because that's just the adrenaline and the ego, and that's a beautiful thing.
You get the ego hard on is strong, isn't it?
It is, and then you'll have another night, and it doesn't go as well. And that's where you have to start working at it.
Yeah.
And that's where you've got to put the effort into working out, was it you, was it them, was it the material? Because those are the three things that have to come together in perfect harmony for it to be a good night, and for you to have a good show.
Yes.
If you do the material several times in front of different audiences, you'll learn which of that three it's likely to be. If you're continually dying on your hole, then chances are there's something wrong with your performance.
Yeah.
And if you just have one bad night, but you're doing stuff that you know works in a way that you know works, and you know you're on top of your game, you've just hit one of those audiences that don't get you, and it happens.
Yeah, I remember when I was performing in front of Kahn Johnson, that Dom and Martin did well because they were more sort of the style they were in. But people, when I went on, I did good.
Yeah.
But near the end, when I was doing a lot of my deeper stuff, the audience just didn't come with me. If that makes sense, and I just wasn't their brand. I was a bit too deep for kind of sort of just a good time show.
Yeah, but that can happen. Yeah. I mean, it's the trick there. Because if you want to keep doing that stuff, you've got to work out how to translate that
to people. How to code switch.
Yeah, I mean, I've just finished reading. Again, it's taking images out of the musical world. Just finished reading Tranny by Laura Jane Grace, which if you haven't read it, I can get it read now because it's an amazing book. But she kind of talks about how to get what she wants across in a way that doesn't alienate.
Yeah.
And there's comedians who do it. I mean, Bill Hicks trod the line like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
But when he was on top of his game, he took people with him.
Yeah.
And he played to some tough crowds that weren't his crowd. There's footage of him in Chicago where he starts talking about marijuana. And there are people in the crowd cheering and whooping.
Yeah.
Because, hey, he's talking about dope, man. I was like, you're not listening to what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And that's not his crowd.
Yeah.
But he just digs in and he goes.
Yeah.
The thing I found, because I used to do, not heavily political stuff, but I used to do more serious kind of material.
Yeah.
Less whimsical, less cats. And a couple of my mates said to me at the time, you can talk about what you want on stage, but it needs a punchline.
Yeah.
And I think if you're going to go on a longer, deeper rant, or not rant, but talk about deeper stuff and try and make people think about what you're talking about, pepper it with little bombs along the way.
Yeah. You've got to season it a little bit, haven't
this
you?
is it. Because if you're going on a long journey to a big punchline, you've got to
You're
hope
going to lose
God,
people along the way.
This is it.
And it's very rare, if you get too long, that the punchline is worth the build.
This is it. I mean, like going back to the MS material, that started off as just being basically a rant at the world, because when you're 29, I think I was, and diagnosed with a life-changing condition which at some point is possibly going to rob me of my mobility, you tend to not take it well.
No.
It tends to shape-shift your world.
Kind of pisses you off, doesn't it?
I was a tad pissed off.
Yeah.
I won't deny.
Yeah.
And this was coming out on stage. I just wanted to rant about this because I wanted to get it out of my head, and that was the only place I could do it.
Yeah.
And I was really struggling to find a way to make it funny.
Yeah.
So in the end, I just decided I'll have a breakdown, stop doing it on stage, fix myself, and then I'll go back to it. And that's where I found I came up with just little bits. It's a big bit.
Yeah.
It's about 10 minutes of material. But it's actually little bits that link together.
Yeah.
So the jokes appear a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And that's where I get to take people along the journey.
Yeah.
So when I get to the payoff at the end, it's definitely worth it. And I think that's the thing. Like I said, Nobby said earlier, you can talk about what you want, but it can't be... If you want to just do completely self-indulgent talking about something, there's a spoken word venue around the corner, go there.
Yeah, well, if you want to have a wank, basically.
Yeah, if you want to have a verbal wank, go to spoken word.
Yeah.
But if you want to actually be classed as a comedian, your job first and foremost is to make people laugh.
It's funniness.
Yeah. You can come at it from whatever angle you want, or whatever works for you.
Yeah.
But the onus is on you to make them laugh. The onus isn't on them to find you funny.
Yeah.
The onus is on you to make them laugh, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's a bugger for that, because I'd much prefer it if they just got paid to laugh at anything I said.
Apparently it doesn't happen. That would be easier.
Yeah, so much easier.
Yeah. So with the MS stuff, so you've known about that since you were 29, and
I think
for reference point, Kahn is who beat me in the quarterfinals of the tournament to get personal independence payments. So we have that beef to settle, don't we?
We'll fight about that later.
Yeah.
I brought the baguette to hit you over the head with.
But so with the multiple sclerosis stuff, now that you've got it down, have you found that bit's helped you cope? Helped you deal with it a little bit?
Oh God, no.
Fuck no.
Actually, no. In a way, it has. And also talking about depression and stuff.
Yeah.
Making that funny has helped enormously, because they're both things that are really hard to get your head round.
Yeah.
And I was only in the last couple of years have I realised I actually had depression back when I was probably 16, 17, 18.
Yeah.
Looking back at how I was behaving and what I did. Although I still say I did not break that door at 6 1. But it was undiagnosed for years.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't know what was going on. I just figured I was unhappy.
Yeah.
Turns out I was medically unhappy. I'm still... This is the story of my life.
Yeah.
I ought to be proud of this. I'd be pleased with this, but it still niggles. My MS isn't so bad that I get medicated.
Yeah.
My depression isn't so bad that I get medicated.
You're right at the fucking...
I'm just on the edge. I'm on that little thin line.
Yeah.
And it's like, I should be happy, but I've got depression, so I'm not.
The thing is with the precipice is that you get so near to getting treatment with the current way the current way it works. But if you overshoot, they just basically, in more flowery medical language, tell you that they're too mental. You're too mental now for them to do anything with.
It's completely it. I was bouncing along. I'm somewhere between low mood and mild depression. Yeah. I've had 2 diagnoses.
Yeah.
I don't know what either one of them means, other than the fact that I occasionally wake up in the morning and want to kill the world.
Yeah.
And this is not normal, I'm told.
Yeah. We've
been feeling that way for years.
Yeah, because I've got a diagnosis coming up. We'll find out officially whether I'm bipolar or not.
Oh, how exciting!
Yeah.
Do you get a present and a badge?
I don't know, but shall we do a big reveal?
Oh, I think we should. I think we should have some sort of cake,
a
big spinning wheel,
elephants.
showgirls, we'll have the lot.
Because I think it helps this sort of stuff, because I have, like, to the point where, like, I talk about some of my addiction stuff, some of it that I can talk about, make funny wherever, but other stuff that Flora will not be in the room for when I do it, because it directly affects our relationship. And then my parents can't hear a lot of my mental health stuff because I have now a properly solid bit about my suicide attempt, which is fucked up, but it's hilarious. Because the thing is, like, what I was trying to do is because I'd heard of autoerotic asphyxiation, strangle wanking, in layman's term. Yes. The old Dave Carradine, as it's called in the biz.
Yes, or doing a Tory MP, as some of the middle classes call it.
And what I was doing...
Still one of your 5 a day,
yeah,
sorry.
What I was doing was when I was, about to... When I was, hanging around,
waiting with
yeah, was that I was worried about how people would find me.
Yes.
So what I did was to combat this was try to fidget around and put my hand down my trousers, so it looked like I was a sex pervert
rather than depressed.
Yeah, I was really concerned with my brand, Kahn.
That is, I love, in a very twisted way, I love the logic that went into that.
And do you know what the funny bit about this?
I don't want people to think I died because I was unhappy. I want them to think I was perverted.
Yeah. I think my parents would have had. If I had died, I thought my parents could live with that bit better.
Were you wearing stockings at the time?
No, but
I see. That's the missing bit.
Yeah. Do you know what the bit makes it perfect though? I perform it a lot funnier on stage, but the bare bones of it. The
bare bones of your erection.
Yes. In trying to fiddle about with my trousers. Because it was only a light fitting and it's basically 2 screws, and with the best will in the world, I'm a bit of a hefty gent, and I was fatter back then than I am now.
You're not Martin, are you? You're not skinny.
No, I'm not. I'm not quite BBW, but like I'm bulky.
Yeah.
And so that was never going to carry my fucking weight. And then me like trying to fuck around in my pants just broke it, and I was just there like.
I know we shouldn't laugh about this, but you kind of have to.
It's fucking hilarious.
I mean, out of interest, did you lose your deposit on that place?
No.
That's got to be a win!
Yeah, I just fixed it. It was a really easy fix, actually. The paramedics were fucking hilarious.
So you didn't even break it properly? How impressive.
No, yeah, because what I said, the paramedics were like, you do know that was just 2 light fittings, mate. It was never going to hold your weight. And I just went, well, now I feel like I've wasted your time. And they were just like, come on, let's get you to hospital. And it was exactly what I fucking needed. Yeah. They, like, figured me out straight away. It's weird. And they were like, come on, you fucking twat. It just helped. Like, some people would be like, hey, bastard, you don't understand my pain. But I'm just like, I'm a twisted man, you know?
Sometimes light can come from the darkest of places.
Oh, man. But I think the thing is, bringing it into discursive consciousness, when comedy's done at its best, is... how you change the cultures of things. That if it becomes acceptable to joke about, or it's joked about in a way that's done well, you can really...
I think that's very true. And that's one of the reasons why I'm still doing UKIP jokes.
Yeah.
Because, they just won't go away.
Yeah, they've had a real kind of shitlord YouTubers revival.
I know, it's just utterly ridiculous. And there's actually, I've discovered there's a comedian not far from here, not as in his house, but regionally.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name him. He's actually not that bad a guy, apart from being mildly racist and a UKIP supporter.
You can tell me after the show, because I want to know.
I will, don't worry. And I don't understand the logic behind the premise with UKIP.
Yes.
And while that still exists, I'm going to still keep kicking at it and punching it and doing jokes about it and making light of it, because I think the way Mel Brooks, who, best one in the world, has done a comedy or two, knows a thing about being funny.
That knows the jokes.
Knows how a joke works.
Yeah.
And he said the biggest way you tackle bullies, he was being euphemistic about fascism at the time, is you laugh at them.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm going to continue doing what I do until at some point they fuck off.
Yeah, you've got to.
That's the only way. Happily not do jokes about UKIP. But while they're still there, I'm going to keep fucking pointing at it.
Because bullies are weak and they rely on power and fear. So if you treat them with ridicule, they fuck off.
Exactly. Or they implode, such as the President of the United States, who has absolutely no sense of humour and still wants to sue Saturday Night Live.
He's threatened to sue everyone.
Not me!
Yeah.
I keep trying. He hasn't blocked me on Twitter.
I know, that's depressing.
I mean, what have I got to do?
Yeah.
I keep pointing out he's wrong.
The thing is, there are ways to do it, because I am kind of critical of the constant, not satirising Trump in and of itself, but the scale and the amount of people doing it, because Dave Chappelle made a very good point in that if you're just criticising Trump to get on the bandwagon, you run the risk of becoming a member of the chorus rather than the solo artist, as it were.
Completely.
And it very much runs into every late night show each week, Orange Man bad for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's a bit tedious at this point. Like, the only really good and original Donald Trump material I've heard recently is John Mulaney's special in Kid Gorgeous, when he uses the euphemism of kind of a horse and stuff like that. Have you seen...
No, I'm waiting for you to be nice and say there's mine as well.
Kahn's stuff is good. It's just... I've known you personally, but, like, I'm talking more about it in the sense of, like, you know, comedy as an industry.
Oh, that, yes.
Very much the TV sort of churning out Trump stuff.
This is it. I mean,
and having no sort of filter on quality, you know.
Yeah, there is a problem without doubt, and there's the problem when you get clowns in charge. It's the same as Brexit.
Yeah.
We can all sit there and go, Brexit bad, Brexit stupid, but unless we unpick it and actually make the intelligent argument, and in our business make it funny, as to why it's bad and why it's stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, there aren't many people who can, I would suggest, are using a joke about Trump that has the punchline trickle-down economics.
Yeah.
I like that joke.
Yeah, that joke is really fucking good. And that's a clever joke. Not trying to like blow you now that I've mildly upset you, but it's a genuinely very clever joke.
Not a chocolate bar.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a very good chocolate bar. I enjoyed it. It was very firm and creamy.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
hashtag me too.
I'm not going to me too you on this podcast. I remember kind of like, I had this one joke I used it in the roast of Dom where I said, you look like the sort of person who'd get me too'd for eye contact on public transport. And I like that joke because it's multi-layered, because it's kind of like, goes into sort of, you know, the insulese pretty privilege and ugly privilege.
It's funny aimed at Dom.
Because he's autistic and eye contact.
Exactly.
It's multi-fucking layered.
And because it's Dom.
Yeah.
And basically it's like, well, it's like kicking a puppy.
That joke will... And it only worked in the concept of the roast, because the whole point of a fucking roast is to kick the puppy.
But it does kind of work. You could aim that as a light-hearted insult of other people, and it will work on different layers, so that's fine. What have we got next, my friend? There's a list.
Shall we go... We'll go into the sort of more of the industry local stuff, and then we'll
we'll do that.
We'll probably do veganism, and then we'll call it quits. We'll just fix veganism after that, and then that's sorted. Oh boy. There's been a lot of, speaking of Dom and roasts, there's been a lot of roasts that have been cropping up lately. Glass, I've been doing them.
I'm not a fan.
Martin's doing one. You're not a fan.
I'm not a fan.
Because we've had a discussion about this before, but would you mind going into like why and?
Happily. I'm not a fan for two reasons.
Yeah.
One, it feels like lowest common denominator comedy.
Search for the bottom.
You're basically just asking. I mean, it can be done very cleverly, very wittily, and I know it's been done on telly with famous comedians and all the rest of it. And it's just, but you're just asking people to insult each other.
Yeah.
And that I don't think is good grounds for comedy.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not a massive fan of gong shows either. But that's because you only get 5 minutes at a gong show.
Yeah.
And one thing I've learned about myself is I need at least 10 minutes to get as far as saying hello.
Yeah.
So
it's not right for a lot of people's style, is it?
My style just does not suit.
No. Neither does mine.
Shows. No.
But with roasts.
So there's two things. So one is it's the rate of the bottom, and it's just the lowest common denominator thing. And I know they're easy to put on, and comedians think it's really funny because part of the problem is it's just done for the comedians to have a laugh with each other. Yeah, which we can do down the pub. We don't need to start doing it in front of an audience.
Not being funny, we can do it, and we don't have to make sure what to say. If we're all in the pub having a few drinks, we can be fucking horrible to each other when we choose to, and we often are.
Exactly.
Comedians are fucking nasty.
We're a bitchy bunch of queens.
Yeah.
But the other problem I have, I think it's more a personal problem, and I know we've talked about this, is way back in my university days, I was involved in, I think we could politely call it a violent relationship.
Oh, same.
Hey,
nice.
Passes the time, doesn't it? And where I wasn't, I was the victim in it all.
Yeah.
One thing you learn in that environment is you're scoring points.
Yeah.
You're not arguing a point, you're not arguing a discussive point, you're not just trying to work out who's right and who's wrong. It's very much like fencing.
if the
sharper sword.
And if the sword is emotional abuse.
Yes.
And physical abuse.
It's that, yeah. And so I learned early on to go in hard, go in quick, and get the argument ended as early as possible, just to save time and emotional.
Like you immediately go for the nuclear option, totally. And that's my experience is that you've got to respond to confrontation with overkill. Otherwise, it's dangerous for you.
This is it.
You can't.
If you don't put, basically, you're kind of best analogy I can think of in the moment. You're basically in a cage with a lion.
Yeah.
And you have to get the lion to not attack you as quickly as humanly possible.
Yeah.
So you tend to just go for the rawest nerve you can find. Hit that, put them down, because if you don't, they're coming at you.
Yeah.
And that's a horrible thing to learn, and it's taken me years to unlearn.
To decode it.
That. And to actually try and have healthy relationships where I don't do that.
Yeah.
And I spotted it first 3 or 4 years in my last relationship with my now ex-wife.
Yeah.
I was doing that, and I've spotted it in my current relationship a couple of times. I've started to do it, and I've had to pull myself back and walk away from the argument, because that's the only way I can defuse that situation there.
Yeah.
So what I worry about, and having seen myself do it with friends at times, is you put me in a situation where I've got to insult someone.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee I know where that line is.
Yeah.
If the adrenaline kicks in, if they say something...
You might end up mauling someone.
Yeah, if they say something that I just take slightly the wrong way in that moment.
Yeah.
If I'm not fully on it, if I'm slightly tired, if the guard's gone in the wrong place...
Yeah.
I could probably completely obliterate you in 2 minutes.
Yeah. But it wouldn't be nice.
Won't be funny.
Yeah.
No one will laugh.
Yeah. The thing is, that's what makes me potentially very good at roasts can make me very potentially a fucking bad person. And the thing is, I roast myself as well as kind of a defence to, like, I go in so hard in myself as a tactic when I've roasted that people don't have anything to roast me on because I've already covered it. So I really just suck the momentum out of them.
Yeah.
And I smother them with silliness. Like, the last roast I did was against Isaac, and I ended up taking my shirt off and just yelling at him, calling him a cleft, and just saying no man born from his mother can beat Aaron Hood in a roast. And because Susanna had just did what she did to Dom, I started off by going, oh, sorry, I'm really sweaty because I was outside burying Don Mackey's comedy career. And I just started off like that. And
I understand that night. It wasn't meant to be the roast of Don Mackey, but it became the roast of Don Mackey.
It really did. He's too nice. He's not suited for a roast. It's like a puppy going into a fucking bear pit.
It is.
It's just not.
He's too nice a guy. He shouldn't be asking people to insult him.
He really shouldn't. It's not right. But the thing is, like, I won't just be on a roast for the sake of being on a roast. I have to have an opponent I can have an angle on.
Yep.
That I like as a person.
Yep.
And I can go in. You have to entice me.
I'm sure as hell never go on a roast with you.
No, it would be very unpleasant.
No,
I think we'd end up losing friends. Like, we can see it in each other's eyes. If you know any other male friends or friends who've been in abusive relationships, there's just something in your eyes that you can identify with someone else who's been there.
It won't go well.
Just this glazed kind of, like, dissociation from pain.
Yeah.
But yeah, always, you never truly fucking recover from it. But yeah, roasts, I've just lost interest in them now, to be honest. Like,
I think they were kind of a novelty thing for a while, and because they appeared on Comedy Central, everyone realised that they could put one on.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier than booking a bill in theory, except you've then got to book twice as many acts, and hope to God those acts know each other and can work together in some way, shape or form. Now you book a comedy bill with 4 people on.
Yeah.
That's like herding cats.
Yeah.
A comedy roast is like a cat trying to herd cats.
Yes.
It's just, forget it. It's an administrative nightmare.
Yeah, I wouldn't fucking do it. No.
And there's so many names to put on a poster.
Yeah, it's just, there's so many reasons not to do it.
I can do a poster in 20 minutes. A comedy roast takes days and I'll spell your name wrong.
For sure. And now we briefly mentioned it, but gong shows.
Oh, yes, gong shows.
Yeah, you run one.
I know, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Called Beat the Bears.
Yes.
Please tell me what happened with the Beat the Bears thing.
If I've learnt anything about my life, is I usually end up doing the very thing I say I'll never do.
Yeah.
Basically, we got approached by a venue, the Murderers in Norwich, on Timber Hill, to put on a comedy night. And he said they didn't want a traditional comedy night. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
Oh, great.
So I said, what kind of thing do you want? He said, well, we quite like gong shows. And I said, yeah, but I don't. And he, yeah, but we think it would work well here. Good for you. I'm not putting one on.
Yeah.
So we put on an attempt at a kind of...
Compromise.
I didn't even do the compromise. It was kind of a more cabaret style night with musical acts and straight comedy. All comedy.
But just
music.
some a lot of musical stuff.
Yeah, and I think the poet Ollie Watson was on there as well, I think.
Yeah.
But we did that at Christmas. There's no quality control. I couldn't be there because I was gigging somewhere else that night, unfortunately. Yeah. So it ended up being not the best of nights because a lot of people who were in there weren't there for the comedy and just wanted to get pissed because it was Christmas.
Yeah.
So we walked away from that going, okay, so maybe that format's not right for that venue. He came back to us again, so I still want to do something, but that didn't work. Let's try the gong show idea. It's like, fine, if we're going to do the gong show, we're going to do it my way, and we're going to do it so it's nice.
Yeah, the nicest gong show.
The nicest gong show you can find. So it's friendly and supportive. It's not, I've just realised the word I'm about to use, not a bear pit. Only ours is a bear pit. But it's a nice
cuddly bear pit.
It's a cuddly bear pit. It's Winnie the Pooh. Hello, Disney. What's Stephen called?
Yeah, they are very, very lawsuit happy, aren't they?
They have lawyers everywhere. Probably one outside this window right now.
There's one in this cupboard.
Hey!
Disney lawyer, cameo appearance.
So Martin and I, Martin Westgate, who runs Hooma Comedy, we had a conversation. We said, we're going to do this, we're going to try and do it so it's nice.
Yeah.
So we have nice sounds, and it's supportive, and as happened with the first one, someone got binned off very early on. For those of you who don't understand how a gong show works, the format is quite simple. You get 5 minutes in total, but you only get to perform for 2 minutes usually. Sometimes it's 3, normally 2 minutes, safely. As in no one can interrupt you or say anything or do anything. And then there's a sound, you carry on as if nothing has happened, and for the next 3 minutes, if 3 people in the audience don't find you funny, they signify this, in our case, by waving large cuddly teddy bears, and you hear a sound and you're off the stage before your time is up. And what we try and do, because it did happen to someone on the first show who... Her first bit of material was really funny, and her second bit of material would have been really funny if she could have finished it.
Yeah.
But she hadn't had time, and this is the inherent problem within the Gong Show for me, to establish her character as a comedian on stage. So when she came with the line, "I fancy Boris Johnson," it was going to be, I think, some quite nice satirical dark material.
Yeah.
All 3 people in the audience heard was, "I fancy Boris Johnson," and well, you can fuck off, and the bears went up.
Yeah.
So we had to have a little chat with her and make sure she felt okay about it, because I know from experience, and I know from seeing it happen to other people, that it can really dent your confidence. You need a certain bomb-proof attitude that you're just going to try some material and you don't care what happens.
Yeah.
Now, there are other nights, I think, work better for that. Birdcage, 2 new material nights with Hooma. Yeah. Treehouse Comedy.
Glass Eye Duke.
Glass Eye, I forget those guys because they're not in Norwich. Yeah. There's some chance of running a thing called Hood Nanny. I wouldn't go.
We're not a new material night,
no, that's very true.
No, we are not.
but there are some nice, safe environments where you can try new material. And I think gong shows are, again, it's kind of similar to comedy roasts, is that they're kind of easy to put on. There's not a lot of effort involved. And so that's why I try to complicate it a bit and make it a nicer thing and a friendlier thing. So you at least come away having gained something from being on stage. And if all the bears go up, we'll at least talk to you and make you feel better about yourself, so you don't feel like you've wasted your evening. Yeah. And we'll try and make it a more inclusive experience. I mean, poor old Jason Overmans. I do feel sorry for him. I love him to bits.
Yeah, I love him.
Lovely guy.
As a person and as an act.
Yeah.
I just love the puns.
Yeah, he's puntastic. Yeah. He's also very good at quizzes. Yeah. And rather unfortunately, one bear, I think, had gone up, but the other 2 were staying down. Yeah. And the devil in me kicked in purely because I knew he wouldn't mind and could take it. Yeah. And I actually persuaded the other people to put the bears up and bared him off. Yeah. And I feel bad about it now. It was kind of in the moment thing. It was kind of funny. And we've talked about it since, and it's fine. But that's what gong shows kind of do to you. They kind of get the wrong... Sometimes it's the wrong message.
They get that kind of cheeky sort of like bullying child.
And it's rather than listening to what the comedian's got to say... You're basically looking for the first flaw you can find so you can get them off stage. Yeah. Now, in like King Gong,
Yeah.
I know people who've done King Gong and gone, wow, I managed 1 minute and 10 seconds. It's like, why are you doing it?
What's the point?
whole point of King Gong is to gong people off.
Yeah.
It's not, we want as many people as possible to be in that final on stage.
Yeah.
We want as many acts as we can
Gong,
get on.
King Gong's... I know people who've literally just got on stage, been on for 2 or 3 seconds, and they've been gonged off because people are bored.
Yeah, exactly.
They just fancy...
Yeah. But that's the whole point of King Gong. That's what they want to do, and that's what I don't want to do.
Like I hate that.
That's why we went down the Bears route, and you get as long as we can get away with, and we try and make it as nice a thing, and we have a nice headliner at the end.
Well, that's a better take on the Gong format. That's evolved the Gong format and made it less about human bear baiting.
This is it. This is
we use the phrase bear a lot, which makes sense. But
we've got 3 Winnie the Poohs, my friend. 3 Winnie the Poohs. One massive one, a medium-sized one, and a little one.
That's fair.
It's almost like 3 little bears, but they're poos.
Because the thing is, I've got I've kept my Big Sam Allardyce, my 100% win record at Gong shows, as in pass. I mean, not winning the whole fucking thing, because I've only done one.
That'll do.
I did it because it's for the refugees, so I'm glad I was able to solve that whole Syria thing for them.
Well done.
That was good.
That was complicated, but you got there.
I got there, and I'm not a Gong show person, because if people gong me off, I do not take it well. Because this one woman who's getting very, very card happy, she was American, she's coming from California, and I was like, and immediately when she put the card up, when I was doing some of my Theresa May material, because she didn't understand it clearly, and I was like, I don't even like California anyway, I'm glad half of it's on fire, and and then I just go, what are you going to do? Card me again? You have no power here. And I just chide people.
Yeah, so this is the thing. That's where it kind of... I don't think that brings out the best in anybody. Because the audience aren't there to enjoy themselves. The audience are there to look for flaws.
Yeah.
And the acts either have to go on the offensive to get through their punchlines as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And the argument
or you have to basically do a populist set where you just wank people off.
The idea is that you learn something about stagecraft, and I'm not sure how much you learn by rattling through stuff in 3.5 minutes in the hope that somebody doesn't wave a bear at you.
Yeah.
But we won one anyway. Hey,
it's fine. That you have other nights as well.
Oh, good, yes.
You personally run Walnut Tree Shades, a lovely gig, little gig.
We run Treehouse Comedy at the Walnut Tree Shades. Yeah. We have the excellent Tony Cowards on next month.
Oh, nice. Tony's very good.
He's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I very much. He's one in our dossier as well.
Yeah, I love him to bits. Normally I MC that one.
Yeah.
But next month I'm actually doing a set.
Yeah. Oh, you're doing a set.
I'm doing a set at my own night, which does feel a little
Jenny
bit...
Beak and Martin are on as well.
Yeah,
that's a good bill, mate.
Martin's MCing, and Jenny's in the middle, and we're giving 5 minutes to a new guy who approached me nicely. Because occasionally, that's the other thing about running gigs and being at gigs and stuff, is people come up to you and go, comedy's the hardest thing in the world, and I'd love to give that a try. And some people you want to nurture and you want to give them the opportunity. Yeah. Other people come up to you and go, I love hecklers, I think heckling's brilliant, I want to do stand-up comedy, I'm not a racist or a homophobe.
Yeah.
And you think, well done, you've achieved base level standard humanity.
Yeah.
I don't want to give you stage time, but I'm not sure how well it'll go. But this guy came to the gig, he had a chat, and he'll be doing 5. I haven't done a set at my own night, which does feel a little bit self-indulgent.
Yes.
It does kind of feel like,
I whack myself on the shows every so often, to be honest, because I am a self-indulgent wanker, and that's in my act, so I can get away with it.
Very true. I'm actually alarmingly...
Nice.
Oh, thank you. I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say modest, but that doesn't make me sound good. I'm quite introverted.
I'm so modest.
I know. I am the most modest person I know. I'm quite weirdly introverted.
What the fuck are you doing?
What's that? The hat's gone.
The hat has gone outside.
Where was I? I was talking, wasn't I? Modesty. I'm weirdly... I don't even think it's that weird. I'm very introverted. For someone who's actually quite outgoing, I'm a massive introvert at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's why
I think we're both ambiverts, as it were.
Oh, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Because
there's a word for that.
Hey, put me in another. Put me in another box. And I think people don't realise that because you're able to go and talk to large crowds of people,
that you maybe don't want to fucking talk to people all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and I said to my mum a while ago, I said, I'm not that mad keen on people. I'm really surprised you're very good at talking to people. I said, I know I'm good at it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I want to do it.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like I've booked a festival and just so I can go and play on stage a little bit, even though I've been running the night for over a year. And it's going rather well, thank you for asking.
Yeah.
But I decided
it's genuinely going very well.
It is.
I was at the first one of them, and I was not very good yet.
You certainly made an impression that night.
I had a mental breakdown on stage.
I believe we had the whole room cheering for Harold Chipman.
Yeah, that was the second time.
Oh, was that the second time you were there?
Yeah, we had a toast to Harold Chipman at the second one.
Yes, that was
the first one I had a full-scale panic attack before going on stage.
You and I've forgotten that.
Yeah, I still made people laugh because I forgot my notes, but I said something like, I forgot my notes. Can we just imagine I've said something really fucking hilarious while I look at them? And everyone seemed to go with that bit.
They did. You had them on board at that point.
Yeah. And then I just fucked it by getting nervous because I think you cursed me because Kahn was like, I've seen him at the workshop. I'm really looking forward to his set. Then I just fucking ate chode.
I gave you a lovely big build-up. And
I fucked it.
And no one trusted me after that. Yeah. So I kind of sort of decided I'd actually do a proper set for a change. This brings us nicely, I suspect, onto the next thing on the list because I'm working towards a show called Appetite for Distraction.
Yes.
Which got its. I did the first preview of it at the end of January, and part of the reason I've named it that, and part of the reason I'm doing it is because I just like getting around on stage, and because it's my own show, I can wear black nail varnish, I can stick scars on my mic stand, and I just basically turned into a wannabe rock star.
Opulent, hedonism.
Yeah, because it's my show, I can do what I want.
And also the fucking name is good. It's a very good fucking name.
I'm not
Appetite for Distraction.
I am quite proud of that thing. I don't mind admitting. It took me a while to come up with it, but once that word hit my head, it's like that's the show title right there.
Yeah.
It's now, having now done the first preview, it's now being completely torn apart and being rewritten because that is the way of such things.
Yes.
So, and I've just realised actually I haven't written any of the new stuff that's in my head before May the 10th. May the 8th. Better help me get the date right.
I've been working on my own show as well.
I've just realised what's going on in my calendar.
What's happened on your calendar?
Right, so, because I'm an idiot, one of the things about having MS is you get fatigue.
Yeah.
So what you mustn't do is overstretch yourself, overwork. You have to manage your time well. Now, I'm very lucky, and we'll get onto the whole vegan thing shortly, but going vegan helped enormously in managing fatigue because I've actually got far more energy than I ever used to have, which is amazing.
That's good.
So we go. I've got Swaffham on Saturday.
Swaffham. Who runs that gig? Because I've heard of
PJ.
Oh yeah.
So I've got Swaffham on a Saturday, and then on the following Monday we've got Beat the Bears again. Are you down for that one?
I'm not down for Beat the Bears, although...
Come on and try and beat the Bears.
Do you want me to come out of retirement? You know what shit I will pull at that gong show.
This is a test for you. Don't pull shit.
Alright, I will try.
I want the challenge. I want you to actually make 5 minutes of being genuinely hilarious and not calling the audience cunts for waving bears at you.
I'll be a lot more pleasant. I think I'll do some more of my surrealer stuff. Or anti-comedy.
Yeah.
You know what? I will come out of retirement to do Beat the Bears.
Yay!
I will come out of my self-imposed. No one asked, no one cared. No. My self-imposed exile from gong shows.
I didn't even know about it.
I will risk my 100% win ratio.
Yep.
For Beat the Bears.
Put it on the line. I'll buy you a pint.
All right. What day does that fall on?
29th.
29th.
If that's the Monday. Yeah, 29th is the Monday. 29th of April.
Yeah, I can do that. I'm free.
Or 28th, whichever the Monday is.
My meat. Beat the Bears even. Comedy.
It says an awful lot about your auto text.
Made a joke about wanking. Did everyone get it?
So
I love that. There was this meme that was doing the rounds about that. Like, the feminist social justice agenda has robbed me of my rightful chance to win this comedy competition. Turns out nobody wanted to hear 5 to 10 minutes of material about my penis.
Who knew?
I've agreed to Beat the Bears.
So I've got Swaffham, Beat the Bears, and then I'm in Swindon, I'm in Southend, and I'm in Cambridge, supporting Jim Tavaret.
Oh, is that from Deadpan to Bedpan? Bedpan to Deadpan.
Yes, amazing show.
I've heard very good things about it.
Yeah, basically he was
from you.
I supported him doing his preview in Stamford last year before he took him to Edinburgh. And basically he was driving to a DIY shop in California where he lives and had a massive car accident.
Fuck.
And nearly died. Didn't.
That's good.
Spoiler alert. And then therein we have the show. He tells basically the story of car crash to get it back up on stage. And it's very dark and brilliantly funny and very moving in places, and also features his dog, Mr. Kibby.
That's cute. I dig that.
Yeah, so I'm doing all that, and then I've got a sleazy vegan quiz on the Tuesday, and then I've got a proper grown-up, proper set, not kidding around being an MC. Treehouse Comedy on the 8th. I'm going to be absolutely knackered by the end of that.
Oh man, that's intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've started actually, getting booked now that I'm taking this seriously.
It happens.
It's nice. It's nice, but I have to go and actually do shows and be funny.
That's the rule.
Yeah, which is a pain in the ass.
I can understand.
One thing I want to understand about Hooma, just from point of curiosity, but you and Martin run different nights under kind of the same branch.
Yes.
Is that more or less?
More or less. Basically,
what?
Martin started Hooma Comedy because he wanted more comedy nights in Norwich when he was starting up as a comedian.
Yeah, that's probably sensible.
Which is a lot of people do start nights for that exact reason.
Yeah.
And so he had a couple of venues on the go and was getting a bit good and all the rest of it. And then he decided he wanted to go and live in that there London and be all big and smoky and big city comedian stuff.
But and that worked. Worked famously
so well. We're glad to have him back. And so he
back in the gutter with us lot, Kahn.
Yeah, back in the hay bales. They don't like him down there. Oh no, that city folk, they got cars. So when he was going to London, he said to me, "Can you come in and can you help run Hooma? Because obviously running a comedy brand and comedy nights in Norfolk while you're sitting around in London, doing all those fantastic open mic shows,
all those bringers.
Hey, we're going to come on to that."
I haven't said it since series 1. Fuck bringers.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. So. Speaking of which, when you come to the Bring the Bear show, obviously bring friends. Because that's how you win a gold show. You have to have your friends with
Do you think I actually have friends?
No,
it's literally just Flora and Bells.
Yeah,
and Flora's only going out with me because it means I pay half of the rent.
That sounds reasonable. She's not stupid, that girl.
She is not.
No, although she gets dodgy chasing men.
She fucking does.
Yeah,
she really fucking does.
She does. Her boyfriend's an idiot.
Her boyfriend's a fucking... He's not an idiot. He just has no concept of self-preservation at all.
Yeah, potato, I find.
Fair enough. We're just arguing over semantics here, Kahn.
So he said, can you help out or whatever? So I sort of started to help run the nights, and then when he came back, he went, if we're both involved in this, we can put on more nights, we can start growing. So basically we now on a 2-man drive to take over the whole of comedy in Norfolk.
That's pretty decent. And then there's a little niche for me as well.
No, we don't want you.
You do?
No.
We're the weird shit. We do the weird shit.
Yeah,
we're no threat to you.
Oh, you are. we are going to be like Amazon.
You're trying to kill the Hoodinaddy.
No, we're not going to kill the Hoodinaddy. We're going to take it over.
Good luck.
You
couldn't rein in what I've started. You've been in that room.
By the end of next year, they'll give you a little smiley yellow face on your logo.
Absolutely not. I will burn the Hoodinaddy to the ground before that happens. No. Well, the thing is, I'm fine. You guys, we're going for very different audiences.
Oh, totally. That in a way is what I like about the Norwich scene at the moment.
Yeah.
Is now you guys have come here.
Yeah.
Rather than being lost in Berries and Edmonds.
Yeah, fucking Berry.
You now have so much variety because I mean with Hooma you've got weekly nights at Brewdog, you've got fortnightly nights, new material nights at the Wild Man. We've got Beat the Bears, we've got Treehouse Comedy at the Walnut Tree Shades, we've got annual charity fundraising night just outside Norwich in the village of Nova, which is
escapes us.
Looks like we could have another sort of semi-regular night at Squirrel's Drains Ball, which is out towards Swaffham.
There'll be another one coming at the Whalebone.
That's Pearface. That's Harrison.
Pearface with Harrison.
So we've got Pearface Comedy coming in. We've obviously got Gonzo's
got Bermuda Bobs.
Bermuda Bobs, assuming they've not fallen out with the licensing people.
Yeah, I heard about that. I don't know enough about that.
I know nothing other than that there's arguments going on about...
I know nothing from it to be any useful beyond...
It's a thing when it's happening, that's all I know.
Yeah.
So Norwich has now got... And obviously there's Red Card Comedy.
Yeah.
So we've
got... the people that are just way above us, like the amount...
I don't know, I've never met them.
Yeah.
So we've got all that going on there. We've actually got a really thriving, vibrant scene.
Yeah.
And I think you guys are doing something delightfully different that works so well in where you are.
Yeah.
You've got the right venue for it. They're supportive. If only they could sort out their PA system, they'd be fine.
Yeah. We have had words with them about that. We're meeting them tomorrow, so we will actually have a fucking mic at the April show, which will be great. The thing is, we got away with it for that one, but I want a mic. It's just easier for everyone. But the only reason we got away with it is because everyone was so chill. It was a lovely room, and
all the
acoustics.
This is the thing, you don't actually need a microphone in that room because the acoustics are so good.
But
it doesn't hurt. I
prefer
it up a notch.
I prefer to have the mic.
Yeah, I don't need a microphone at the Treehouse because it's such a small room. There are people who insist on sitting down the other end of the pub and not coming up to where the comedy's happening who want to hear it, so we have to turn the amps on.
You feel kind of naked without it sometimes.
Well, it's a weird thing that if you haven't got a microphone in your hand when you're doing comedy, you're not doing comedy, you're just talking, which is really, really dynamic.
It feels very strange.
Yeah, and it's also, comedians are crap in bed, they don't know what to do with their hands. Give them something to hold and they're okay.
Yeah, the one thing is, have you made any kind of concerted attempts for your nights to go for a different sort of vibe than Martin? Or do you just, because you're different people with different senses of humour, you end up, Hooma, as it were?
I think because it's all under the Hooma brand, it's all kind of the same thing. Because my night is kind of more straight format. We have an opening 15, 2 10s in the middle, closing 20.
Yeah.
I pay everyone on my bill.
Yeah.
Because I won't not. You might not get much.
But you'll get something.
The budget is small and there's a bucket collection, but I don't like having people perform for no money.
Yeah, that's
even if it's only a couple of quid as a token of I'm glad you could come.
Yeah,
I want to show appreciation, and you should be rewarded for your time.
That's true. That's why we've kind of part of the negotiations. Part of one of our red lines when we were looking for a new venue was a free drink at least.
Yeah,
and then we're branching out to we've got the green room. We'll have some snacks in there as well. We're trying to offer other stuff filming filming clips for you, that kind of thing. We want to be able to offer
to make the acts feel like they're wanted and they're valued and their time is not being wasted, I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
And with the other Hooma nights, we kind of do similar things, but they're different. Kind of like the one we had in Wyndham was again this kind of straight opener, closer, 2 in the middle kind of format, which I think is a classic format. But then we've got the new material nights.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people are running around between 5 and 10 minute spots.
Yeah.
And it's as much sort of in the skill of the MC as well as the new material stuff.
Yeah.
And the Wild Band is the same kind of thing. So we have different. It's kind of the same vibe because it's all under Hooma.
Yeah.
But it's different formats.
Yeah.
We don't tend to go for the more mad. We've really ever thought this flamboyant themes that you guys do so well.
Yeah, because the thing is, I think we couldn't do another night like this because this night takes so much effort and money with costuming, the VIP packages, the rehearsing, the sketches, all of that stuff. It's one intense, heavy sort of homage to our own mental illness / creative masturbation.
It is totally.
It's intense and weird, and it was always where I wanted the Hood and Annie to head, to be honest, because it started off with just catchy titles. But then I kind of just have been gradually amplifying the silliness.
But I think if you're going to have a catchy title, by doing a catchy title, you're coming up with a theme.
Yeah.
If you're going to do a theme, you need to make the thing fit the theme.
Yeah.
And that's where the one I did was the Spanish Revolution.
Yeah.
You boarded up the windows.
Yeah.
And you had people being dragged off stage by the fascist militia.
Yeah.
It was just absolutely beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
And the fact you had people in uniform.
Yeah.
And actually, she was the other one who couldn't fit her bullet belt on, wasn't she?
Yeah, Bells, Bells. Bells is now involved in the writing and the running of the night. So, and a couple of other people have said they want to be involved in the sketch writing and stuff. So, I think the thing is we've kind of started, because recently I was listening to a podcast Simon Kane did with James Ross, who runs the Quantum Leopard.
Yes.
And a lot of that kind of fits in with my personal ethos and stuff. And so I found a lot of inspiration with that there. So I think Norwich is in quite a healthy place comedically.
It's comedically, it's the best I've ever known it.
Yes.
We've got Undercroft Cabaret now as well.
Yes,
which
Cabaret.
is a nice variety night at the Crypt.
Yeah, that's good. There's not
Just a really good night.
Yeah, it's not just Gonzo's.
And we've got 2 improv nights.
Yeah, that's good. It's not just Gonzo's, the odd headlight show, and Walnut anymore.
It's there is a lot of variety of good comedy in this city now. So everyone needs to come here, not to do comedy. We're full, we're busy.
Yeah,
come here to watch comedy.
Come here to watch some comedy.
We are so funny. We've got loads.
We've got loads of stuff.
Yeah, we've got loads going on.
You've also got the Tipsy Vegan that you do. We're getting onto veganism.
Onto veganism.
Yeah, we'll start it on a nice, non-controversial, conciliatory tone,
Yeah, basically the vegan thing. So I'll end up telling one of my jokes doing this. I was kind of sort of skirting around the idea of vegetarianism and stuff because when I got diagnosed with MS, there's lots of things you can do dietary-wise to improve your life and improve your health. But I'm a stubborn, self-defeating, mildly self-harming kind of twat.
Yes, so am I.
Anything that my condition was going to dictate I should do, I wasn't going to do, because that then was me giving in to my condition. Yes, it could have helped me. Not the point. So I just carried on regardless, doing whatever I was doing. And then I started work for a multiple sclerosis charity in Colchester. And in the process of doing that, I met a lot of people who'd gone dairy-free. Yeah. Because anecdotally, there's no science behind this because they can't get the research funded. Because for some reason the dairy industry is not keen.
Yeah, not a fan.
Not a fan. So anecdotally, if you give up dairy, your symptoms actually improve. Oh. Now, all I can say is I used to have a nap every day. And I wasn't doing anything arduous. I was just working for 3 hours, 4 hours a day, and then I'd come home and go to sleep.
Fuck me, man. That must have been just fucking...
It pissed me off.
Shit.
Yeah. It's kind of like I'm getting old, and if I was going out in the evening, and then I had to actually go to bed for an hour or so to give myself a bump to go out in the evening. And I was basically trying to recharge the battery all the time and never catching up. But
I had to do that sometimes, and I don't even have multiple sclerosis as an excuse. That's just depression.
Yeah, that's the other fun bit that kicks in.
Hey,
people with MS also get depression. Woo!
Nice bit of MS. We'll talk about veganism and things.
Veganism and MS. Come and join the party.
Oh, I can do.
We're on the lighter subjects now.
Yeah, we're at the end. So you found
cutting out dairy actually improved things.
Yeah.
So that kind of opened my mind that far, and then I met Rachel, my girlfriend, and she basically said, let's do the living together thing. However, once we live together in the house, vegan. Yeah. So I kind of weighed it all up and decided that, sex is better than cheese.
That is fair. That's a fair trade-off, I think.
Well, I don't know. I really like cheese.
I like Red Leicester.
It would be, but the irony being now 3 years in, I don't get either. So that's one of his bits. That's one of my bits. Well done. You got that for free. Come and see the show.
Come see Appetite for Distraction wherever the fuck it's on.
I love that title, by the way.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It is fucking sick.
You wait till you see the poster. The poster is going to be mental.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited.
You should see the poster.
Next 2 minutes out.
Yeah.
I will do. I just realised I put thumbs up, and thumbs up don't work in audio.
Who did your poster, by the way?
The picture for it that you're talking about, with me all the post-its on my face, was done by Victoria De Roy.
Yeah.
And we basically went to the Tipsy Vegan, which ties in nicely. And did a photo shoot there, and there's lots of pictures of me looking confused with computers open and beer, wine, and porn and stuff on the table. Which is an interesting thing to do in a restaurant. We kept that hidden, but it was clearly there in the picture. So my mate's now going to take it away, and he's going to design me the poster.
Fabulous.
Just still haven't got around to sending to him, so that'll be that done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was kind of... She said we'd do the vegan thing, and as soon as I started doing the vegan thing properly, and cheese is the hard thing to give up. I won't lie about that.
Yeah, I could never...
You need to find alternatives.
Yeah.
And you can't say you can never, because trust me, you can stop eating cheese and you don't die. That's scientifically proven by me.
I'm not convinced, Kahn.
You haven't died yet.
Fair enough.
Touch wood.
But when you do die, I'll say it's due to lack of cheese.
It's fine. I'll be dead, I won't give a shit.
That's fair. The thing is... I know that I could do it.
We think he was strangling himself and waking himself off, but actually it was a lack of cheese.
Every death should just be lack of cheese now.
But this is the other thing, see, I think this is going to be a boring vegan bit. There is so many good alternatives now. There is no... Because I used to like the really crappy rubbery cheese anyway.
Yeah.
So that switching across to
I
vanilla
too have had
cheese
halloumi.
wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
There is vegan halloumi now, which is actually really good.
Fair enough,
And
you're selling this now.
There are people doing bespoke cheeses.
Yeah.
And there are smaller manufacturers doing sort of more artisan cheeses.
Yeah.
And there's a company called Kahn Johnson that is the best vegan cheese around. It is so good, I have to fight my cat for it.
That's fair enough.
He actually tries to steal it off my plate.
That's fucking...
No other vegan cheese he's gone close to. He doesn't touch.
That's
the meat alternatives, he takes one look at it, looks at me like, you bastard, and he wanders off in a huff. Kind of cheese, I have to fight him for it.
That's brilliant.
That's how good it is.
That's amazing. Because the thing is, my thing is education. I could do it, and I do agree with veganism, like morally. And
You'd be an absolute cunt to not agree with it morally.
Yeah, but the thing is, I am a cunt in the sense that if I know someone's right and I've not done it, I feel judged, so I double down and will eat more meat.
That just makes you a bigger arsehole.
I am an arsehole, but I'm trying to change.
I am not judging you. I'm so judging you.
I know you're judging me. You're a fucking vegan.
Hey, excuse me. My high horse is currently grazing nicely in a field. I look after that thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, I do want to, cut meat out eventually.
Weird thing is, in Norwich is actually one of the easiest places to do
to
it.
be vegan, little shop of vegans,
Yeah.
things like that.
Well done, thank you. I'd forgotten.
Yeah.
Because it's become. Unless you need to get in quick, 'cause she closes on Saturday for a couple of months.
Fuck.
She's moving. What was it? Yeah, so Norwich has actually got a really thriving, vibrant scene,
Yeah.
and it's one of the best places outside of. Well, people always say outside of London. I actually think Norwich and Bristol are better than London for veganism.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, isn't there a big vegan comedy festival in Bristol?
There was until the council got really annoyed and bumped the prices up, and the festival's now closed.
Oh wow! Well
Thanks,
done.
boys.
Well done, lads.
Yep, and so there's normally Veg Fest in Brighton, Bristol, and London, and this year it's just Brighton and London, and next year it's just London.
Of course.
But part of the counter argument to that is, as it becomes more mainstream, there is less need for a niche festival.
Yeah.
Because it is now everywhere, and you can pick up meat alternatives so cheaply in supermarkets.
That's a fair.
I mean, I picked up garlic bread in Tesco's yesterday.
Yeah.
$1.49.
Yeah.
It's vegan garlic bread. You
That's
would
good.
not know it's vegan because they have to put the word on it to tell everyone there's no dairy in there.
Yeah.
But Flora now has gone vegan. The whole Flora range
Is vegan.
Yeah. So if you're used to having Flora, you won't notice the difference.
That's
And
fair.
it's a psychological thing in your head that tells you, oh, I know there's no dairy in that, ergo. I mean, vegetarians were kicking off when Quorn decided to announce they were going to take their range fully vegan.
Why?
All they're taking out is a small amount of egg or milk in each product, which is there for nothing more than binding reasons, and they can replace it. It doesn't change the flavour, the texture, anything. But people were kicking off going, oh, great, it's all going to be vegan. And it's like, all you're doing is removing a tiny, tiny thing.
Is that sausage roll actually any good?
Genuinely, it tastes exactly the same as a Greggs sausage roll, which I think should tell you how much meat you're getting in your Greggs sausage roll.
That's fair.
Because flavour-wise, it's no different.
That's interesting.
Texture-wise, it's no different.
The thing is, I have my own problems with drink and other stuff. I think I might need to cut them out before I consider vegan. Because if I try and do everything at once, I'll just fucking revert again.
It's genuine. I mean, I kind of went at it slowly, and cheese was the final thing. And it was when we were in Bristol, and we were suddenly having Italian dishes and pizzas and stuff in normal restaurants, but vegan cheese was everywhere. And as soon as you found your alternatives, and I'm not the only person, every person I know who's gone down this sort of similar path has said the same thing.
Yeah.
As soon as you find your cheese alternatives, you're done.
Yeah.
Because the sausages, the bacons, the steaks, the pies, the pastas, everything else, you can swap out and replace, and you don't notice.
That's
There is
interesting.
a Quorn vegan, I think they called it a vegan cutlet. Basically, it's effectively like a breaded chicken fillet. And you can't tell the difference between a frozen breaded chicken fillet and the Quorn one. Now that tells you an awful lot about what's going on with the chicken thing. But there are other arguments. I'm not going to go into the whole thing because my mum stupidly mentioned climate control the other day as a passing thing about the protest in London. And
Extinction Rebellion.
yeah, and 20 minutes after I finished ranting, she went, I'm sorry I said anything. And I had to apologise to her.
Yeah.
Because there are any number of reasons to go vegan.
Yeah.
And it's not just don't kill animals, because you shouldn't kill animals.
There's health reasons and
Yeah.
there's environmental reasons.
It's one of the biggest drivers of climate change.
Yeah.
The meat you're eating is stacked full of hormones and antibiotics because they have to be for it to enter the food chain.
Yeah.
Which means that's compromising your health system.
Yeah.
And part of the problem we're finding now that antibiotics aren't working.
MRSA.
You're already stacked full of antibiotics you shouldn't have been eating.
Yeah.
They have linked, and it took them a while to get the tests and the research done because the dairy industry again weren't keen on this coming out.
Yeah, I imagine they went like the sugar industry with Coke,
Yeah.
Coca-Cola, that sort of thing.
Dairy is linked to osteoporosis and cancer.
Fuck.
If you cut out dairy, you actually improve your chances of never getting breast cancer.
Oh.
Now that seems like quite a good thing.
That seems pretty reasonable to me.
Yeah, and now again, that sort of self-defeating thing similar to what you've got. I held off that for ages because I didn't want to interrupt my cup of tea.
Yeah.
My cup of tea is sacrosanct. I don't get through the day without at least 3 pots of tea.
Yeah.
I haven't had a cup of tea for an hour and a half now. I'm starting to twitch.
Yeah.
So swapping out, I had to find something that worked. I'm going to beat you to death with a tea bag. And for me, I found unsweetened soy milk is basically the same in consistency and flavour as semi-skim milk.
Oh, that's fair.
You can swap across, no problem. You're done.
Yes.
So
so you can also all the meat alternatives are not that far removed.
Yeah.
And there's a cracking couple of guys who run a van called TFI Vegan.
TFI Vegan.
They're down in Ipswich today, and they're often in Ipswich on Saturdays. So if you fancy a day out on the train, just after you get your loan, pop down there.
I go on the trains.
Their burgers, they actually sell them to meat eaters who don't know the difference.
Oh, nice.
And I know people, they've told me about people who actually...
Yeah. I had the Linda McCartney burgers, and they're really good.
He's perfected the same sort of relishy sauce that McDonald's do, and it's such a big, chunky, meaty thing.
I think the thing is that veganism's no longer as hard as it was.
No, it's not at all.
Because you don't have to be holistic and abstinent and live like a monk.
Oh, fuck
no, you don't
I've
anymore.
put weight on since going vegan.
Yeah. I think it's gone a lot more easier. I think the thing is there are some people who, in any culture or any movement that are just arseholes.
Oh,
It's nothing unique to vegans.
No.
You can find Christians who are arseholes.
Oh, there are arseholes.
You can have atheists who are arseholes.
God, totally. There are arseholes everywhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, if veganism was hard, I wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
Because I'm lazy.
Yeah,
and I know it's the right thing to do, but I'm lazy.
Yeah.
But it's because it's actually so easy. And I genuinely, I have not had this much fun cooking in years. Because I can just chuck anything in a pan.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah.
And I play around with stuff, and I'm inventing stuff, and I'm creating stuff, and I cook everything like I used to the point I nearly set fire to the kitchen doing a flambe steak.
That's cool.
That
sounds like fun.
Yeah, just flipped it around and it all caught. And whoa, that's flames. That's not. And Rachel would walk in the room. What the hell are you doing? Oh, yeah, it's your kitchen. Sorry. Fire. But it's just there is no argument against it. The only argument against it is you don't want to. That's not you personally. That's just a generic term.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to, what you're saying is the state of the planet, animal welfare, whichever straw you want to pick, that's less important than your interest in eating a bacon sandwich. I still have bacon sandwiches. It's just nothing died for it to be on my plate.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But last time I checked, the planet isn't getting any better. It's getting worse. And one of the biggest drivers is intense agricultural farming.
Yeah,
purely to feed humans.
Yeah.
Take that out of the equation, we can actually go a long way to making a massive difference.
We can have really nice parks and petting zoos and things.
Odd things like that. Yeah. The temperatures might even start coming down a little bit. We might stave off.
I think we've
well,
that suits with the narrative of me being a student.
Knowing, find the punchline in that.
Knowing fucking something's coming for ages, and then only doing the essay the day of.
That's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, that's this. We're having the same problem with climate change. Everyone's known for ages, and a lot of people are still in denial, and it's just a shame those people in denial or lying about it are in fucking power.
That's part of the problem, but they're all being funded by
the Koch brothers,
the big oil conglomerates, etc., and so on. But this is the thing: we are basically now. The homework is due soon, and we're still thinking, well, we probably don't have to do it for another 20 years.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing that really woke me up, and this is a scientifically proven thing, by 2050. at the current rate of decline,
Yeah.
which in itself should be a scary term,
Yeah.
there will be no fish left in the sea.
Which is fucking
Gone.
crazy.
Done.
Bye. Dead sea.
Yeah, Dead Sea. So as soon as you take that out of the equation, all the things that live off fish, gone.
Yeah.
The ecosystem will then start to collapse.
Yeah.
Because we all need the seas to survive. Everything is interlinked.
Yeah.
All the seabirds that live off the sea, gone. We are going to possibly get to the point where the only animals that exist are rats, pigeons, Theresa May and Nigel Farage. And it's now been proven that cockroaches won't survive.
Yeah, that's not a world worth really living in.
No, and I don't know what the rats have done to deserve being left behind with Theresa May.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Like, rats don't deserve that. Rats
No.
are actually quite nice.
They are.
It's just when they're diseased, usually from human waste.
That's usually where it comes from.
But yeah, so now that we've kind of forewarned people about the death of the planet, is there any closing remarks you want on? Like, where can they find you with that?
I had to lift the mood from there. We're all going to die. Come to my quiz.
Yeah. So what have you got going on?
What are going on? Well, there's all the dates are already listed. So we've got Treehouse Comedy. That's on the second Wednesday of every month. I also run the Sleazy Vegan quiz at the Tipsy Vegan on St Benedict Street in Norwich, which is second and last Tuesdays of every month. And you get a prize there of a Tipsy Vegan voucher, second prize of a round of drinks, and the best team name gets have a little free dip in a goodie bag of dreams and get some nice vegan chocolatey treats. Then you've got all the stuff going on at Hooma Comedy, the weekly nights at Brewdog, and twice monthly thing, The Wild Man, and then you've got Beat the Bears every other month at The Murderers, and we're now looking at doing the other side of that, also every other month, bouncing along, show previews.
Yeah.
So I did mine, and a guy called Nigel Lovell did his called Mocking a Murderer.
Yeah.
Which, brilliant, absolutely fantastic. It's basically about serial killers, because he went to school with one, it turns out.
Yeah.
So the
Which
show,
one?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
He does. No, that was his wasn't a serial killer. I think his was just a one-off killer, but a very stupid one.
Oh, that's fair. That's very interesting.
Yeah, but it's a great show.
Yeah.
I've
performed with Nige.
Yeah, he's a lovely bloke.
good.
Yeah, but he normally does puns and stuff.
Yeah.
But he's now doing a long-form show.
That's good.
And it's really, really
I
good.
like
Look
Nige.
Look at doing that, and then we've done Clifftop Festival at Goulston the last couple of years, so I don't know if we're going to be asked back to do that again. We've got a couple of festivals coming up, so there's a lot of Hooma stuff going on. Also, because I don't have enough to do, I do the Unsalted Popcorn blog, the Unsalted Popcorn podcast, which you can find on iTunes, Stitcher, Alexa, and another thing. And then there's Unsalted Popcorn presents Lobbycast, which is a shorter version where myself and someone else, or Baz and someone else, literally walk straight out of the film, not leaving early. Sits down and talks about the film they've just seen for like no more than 10 minutes.
That's interesting.
And
like
I've been
that.
meaning to give you a shout about that, and I'll try and get other people on, but it's just find the time to get to the cinema at the moment.
Yeah.
I think. I also design posters for people, and I also do projects for people, and I also write, and I also do stuff. So yeah, I think that's everything I do.
That's interesting.
I don't think I've missed anything.
Yeah.
Oh, and I've got a cat.
He only has a cat. What's your cat called?
My cat. It depends what he's done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but what's his Christian name?
his given name is Jack.
Jack.
His full name is Stumpy Jack because he's only got a third of a tail.
Yeah, my cat's called Ralph and he's only got one eye.
One-eyed Ralph.
One-eyed Ralph.
I wonder who'd win in a fight between One-eyed Ralph and Stumpy Jack. Well, actually, no, it would be Jack because he's managed to scare every single cat in the neighbourhood away from the house.
Yeah, Ralph's done the same. So this is proper contender. You
Oh,
know,
that's
we've got the cat equivalent of McGregor Mayweather.
This is the Rumble in the Jungle Part 2, isn't it?
This it is, and tune in for that the next time. Carl. Just sounds of animal abuse for an hour.
Please note scratches on hand and arm. That's just from tickling him.
I wouldn't fuck with Jack.
No.
But yeah, Kahn Johnson, everyone. This has been the first episode of Series 2 of the Hoodcast. I will put Kahn's links and stuff in the description. I'll put some links of the shit I'm doing. Come to the Hood and Annie last Thursday of every month.
Very good.
Thank you very much, and bye.
Bye.